Welcome back to another episode of Two Average Husbands. I am your host, Jake.
And I'm your host, Kyle. I am back at home and I am happy to be here.
Yeah, thank God. Because honestly,
I
not
have
that
an
we
internet
didn't
connection again. It's fantastic.
not that we didn't love you using your phone,
It's
but
true. The
this
phone
is
view, you get the perfect angle of me, like either a boomer view or like a, just bad view. I don't know. I can't do good views from myself. So gotta go back to the webcam.
but that is why we took last week off. Kyle was getting back home and getting back settled, so we are more than happy to be back on to our hopefully regular for now schedule.
Yes, regular for now is a good way to put it because it's never regular. We do
Yeah,
our
it
best.
isn't
But
absolutely
again,
not regular.
this is most certainly not our full-time job, so we
I
just
wish.
try to fit it in when we can, so to speak.
Don't get me wrong. I love my job, my new job, day 3, but
I'm assuming we're going to talk about that today.
maybe. I'm so new. It's
Okay.
just new. It's
Yeah.
it's so new that I don't have anything worth talking about yet. Like I'm just going through like orientations and
Okay.
tech trainings. Like it's boring.
Okay.
But it's new. I don't have to go into an office, which is fucking great.
Yeah, that is great. I've never had a work from home job ever, and I definitely haven't had like a virtual type job like what you're talking about, so I don't know how that feels. Maybe that's something we should talk about too. Just kind of like how, I don't know, you can bring it up if you want. It's your kind of topics, I guess. I don't know. I'm not trying to speak on your behalf, but I've never done it. So,
Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's different. It's definitely different, and I think we could probably like. I would like to get a couple like conflicting opinions on it because I'm of the opinion that like 90% of jobs can and should be work from home. Um, so maybe we try and find some conflicting opinions there because I
I have
think
a
it'd be fun to
conflicting
talk
opinion
about.
on that, and I would be happy to talk about it, but I only have one that I can think of right offhand. So,
Yeah, I want to argue. I check out
that's
my
what
Twitter.
we're here to do, man. We're just here to fight each other and
Check out my
everybody else.
Twitter. I've been fighting everybody recently, but most importantly, Kyle, the reason we do this podcast is so we can drink together every
That
week.
is a
So,
fact. That's
what
we're
are you
here for.
drinking?
He even stole my line. I'm back at home and he's getting my line.
Ah,
I'm going to start with a classic, and I'm only going to start with a classic because while I was gone for work, I ended up with a bunch of straggler beers from other people. And because of that, I need to drink them at some point in time. And what better time than right now? So the first thing that I'm going to be drinking is an Angry Orchard hard cider.
you love to see it.
Kind of hate to see it, but honestly, I used to
I
really
like
like
Angry
them when I was
Orchard.
younger and I didn't really know what beer was. And so I thought they were good. And now it's been a really long time since I've had one, so we'll see how I feel. As a non-young person. I guess
Yeah.
I'm still kind of young. But
You and your
as a-
grandpa palate.
There we go. I do
All
have a
right.
grandpa, that's a fact.
I will be drinking Bud Light hard soda seltzers. I'm going to start with the orange soda today. I was going to drink nice beers, but then Kyle pulled this stuff out, and I was like,
But
I'm
guess
just gonna downgrade.
what? I'm back at home, which means even though I'm drinking shitty beer, it's going in a glass.
Same. I'm going beer glass too. Because I'm now realizing that it didn't come completely clean in the dishwasher.
Got a nice shitty pour here on this Angry Orchard hard cider.
Let me get the pro pour on the orange soda.
I don't remember. Did you go first or did I? I think I went first last time. I think it's yours.
No, it's definitely you. No, actually, I think we made Jed go first, but I think before that, you were definitely like, Jake, you get to go first.
I don't think that's true.
We'll fact check it later, but I'm gonna. It's fine. I'll go first,
All right,
Kyle.
thank you. Perfect.
All right. So I actually just came up with this topic. I shaved like 5 minutes ago, and my razor got me thinking. What are some times where you saw marketing, didn't believe the hype, eventually got or tried the product, and you were like, "Holy shit, I get it."
Ooh, that's a good one. And also, by the way, the technical difficulty that I tweeted about was actually just me eating food and Jake shaving his face. So there wasn't
Yeah.
a real technical difficulty, but we just had shit to do.
And I would like to point out that the first product that I'm thinking of, like I said, was my razor, Harry's razors. They're the best razors I've ever used. I have zero issues with them. This mark on my face, if anybody's watching on video, you're going to talk about it and you're going to be like, how can you say that? You just nicked yourself shaving. This is a scratch from a dog like 4 days ago that just won't go away.
Yeah.
Probably
It's in a bad
because,
spot.
yeah, it
Yeah.
just doesn't get better. So yeah, but actually like shaving, like I never nick myself with them. I never and I've heard a lot of people say too, like they're not recommended for shaving your head, but like people who shave themselves bald Like a lot of people swear by the Harry's razors and say that they're the best they've used.
I don't know. There's a reason they call that Bicking your head. You know, the
Yeah,
Bic
well.
razor, man, the classic. Uh, Carly is absolutely right. My first one should and will be. She said in the chat that native deodorant, and that is 100% true. And I will say that of all native products, I was very adamantly against the concept of like a natural deodorant, mostly because like in college I was a freaking sweat machine, and I haven't really had that a problem as much as an adult. But I used to sweat like a freaking crazy person, and I was like, "There's no way some natural crap could ever work for me." And I think it has. It is expensive. I will say that it is
Yeah.
definitely expensive, but it is healthier for you. You're not putting a shitload of tinfoil in your pits.
I say
And
it. You say as I'm putting on my deodorant,
yeah,
just to put a
uh,
bunch of tinfoil in my pits, because I use Old Spice,
yeah, classic. Yeah.
which I'm pretty
Uh,
sure they're getting sued for like chemically burning people right now. So
Yeah, but I mean, really, like deodorants, especially antiperspirant deodorants, right? They're just really not good for your body. There's some pretty decent information out there about that now, and how you probably shouldn't be putting on those on like a very porous part of your body. But anyway, um, native deodorant and native body wash, I love them both. The body wash is more reasonably priced, I will definitely say. The deodorant is extraordinarily expensive. It is kind of gross, but I still use it all the time, and I think it works pretty good. It smells good, and I like to think that I'm doing something at least slightly healthier for myself. I don't know.
yeah, when I worked at GNC, we had a ton of people. We carried like charcoal deodorant, and the people who
Yeah.
would come in for asking for it, they'd be like, "It works," and I'd be like, "No, it doesn't." um, but that was also just like we carried one brand of natural deodorant, and it was literally just like an activated charcoal that you put on your armpits. Like it was, I
Yeah.
don't know what's in the native deodorant, but I'm sure it's got to be better. I mean, I use Dr. Squatch soap. Like that's another one that I'm thinking of where it's like I know you didn't have as great of an experience with it.
I thought it smelled fine. My skin is so sensitive to like a harsh soap like that.
Yeah.
So if I try to use a bar soap, not a chance. My skin's fucked. It'll like freak out.
Mine loves it.
I can't
Mine
do that.
mine prefers it. My skin always feels super weird after I use like a body wash or anything like that.
Yeah,
So like
I know.
using like a brick deodorant like that or brick soap like that is great for me. Plus, if you get the coffee one, which not only smells really really good, but it actually has like coffee beans like shards in it, and it like gets you a nice like scrape on your skin almost when you're
I
cleaning
just want to
it.
cut myself when I'm fucking washing my body.
Kind of, but like it makes you feel like you're actually like you can tell when you're like actually scrubbing something off of you or actually cleaning yourself. Like
Yeah, I'm gonna give
I-
you one on the counter side of this too, because I understand Squatch soap. I'm not saying anything negative against them. I think the product smells really good. It's just a me thing, so I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. What I will say is that one thing that got incredibly hyped up, and I got it, and I thought it was absolutely terrible, is Dollar Shave Club. I've heard great thing about Harry's, like you said, but Dollar Shave Club was trash. The razors were garbage. I thought the shave was terrible, and it was kind of pricey for what you were getting, and so I would never ever do Dollar Shave Club again.
yeah, I know a lot of people who did it when it first started and like literally was $1.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people who did it then who had really great reviews, and then they came back to it later once they raised prices and changed suppliers and everything, and it what like did same kind of thing. Did not get like great reviews. Didn't enjoy the experience using it.
Yeah, Uncle Kyle just came in the chat and said Dixon Flannels is one of his his products. And I will say too that Dollar Shave Club, it was probably shortly after I did the Dollar Shave Club for a bit that I moved over and Carly got me an electric razor. And it is a little bit ironic because I just talked about how sensitive my skin can be to things, but for whatever reason, I can take an electric razor dry and just fucking grind it all over my face, and I
Yeah.
have no problem. And I think the shave quality is really good too, and I love that freaking thing. I've had it for, I don't even know, Carly might know, but I've had it for probably 3 or 4 years now. Absolutely no problems, and I love that freaking thing.
That's one thing that I need to get. I feel like when I learned how to shave, my dad gave me one, but I
Yeah.
wasn't growing enough facial hair that I ever felt like it actually did anything.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
still can't grow a lot of facial hair, but I grow enough that it's like
Yeah.
I looked at myself in the camera and was like, I should probably go shave before we start this episode since I have a minute or two anyway.
Mine's
So like
a
I
Bronze Series 7, I believe. It's one of the self-cleaning ones. You just throw it in the thing, hit the button, and it cleans
Yeah.
itself. And I fucking love the thing.
I know the one that my dad gave me was really nice, but this was also fucking 13 years ago at this point when I was like 14.
Yeah.
So
I think I have one more for sure right off the top of my head. It has to be like my number one because I shit on this stuff so much. I hated the hype on it. I made fun of people for it. I didn't understand it, and then I got it, and I understand it. I love it, and I can't go back, and I hate myself for it because it's so expensive. And that is Lululemon.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! I've got their shorts now, and they're the most comfortable things on the freaking planet. They're super freaking like stretchy or whatever. You know, they fit well.
Yep.
They're very comfortable. They're extraordinarily lightweight, which is pretty incredible. Like it feels like you're just not wearing pants sometimes, which is fantastic. And then recently, while I was gone for work, I had a buddy that had the Lululemon pants, and I haven't worn them, so I can't say for sure. But let me just tell you, they look good and they look comfy. It's like he had the black ones, and they were just kind of like a casual pant for him.
Yep.
Like he just wore them out. But I was like, man, I figured those would be kind of like dress panty or like go out and golf panty. But they look good just fucking going out and like having a beer. I love to look at those pants.
I love Lululemon. I don't own a ton of it because I've found like Fabletics is one that's kind of like very Lululemon-esque. Like if you told me they were the same supplier, I'd believe you. But like I keep going back to their stuff. I've got like 6 of the same pair of shorts because I could wear them every day for the rest of my life. I just got some new shorts. I got shorts with a liner in it for the first time in my life. Don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't really.
Don't hate it. Still indifferent, but
The ones with the liner, I will say, make a decent hybrid short, but I don't like them for like an everyday wear.
yeah. I've been using them more on like I've worn them twice now on like leg days, and I liked them. Gave me a little extra compression.
Oh, you're talking like a compression liner, not like just like a.
Yeah, no, it's not like a normally when I think of a liner, I think of like swim trunks and how they have that
Yeah, I
mesh
think, like,
liner.
mesh, yeah.
No, this is like an actual like you're wearing compression boxers under
yeah,
your
yeah, I
shorts.
know what you're talking
Like
about.
that's the best way to
That's
describe
good.
it. It's great.
Yeah.
Like
I could maybe wrap my head around that a little bit more. Yeah.
I still don't know how I feel about like everydaying them, but I've been wearing them for workouts and I've really, really enjoyed them.
Did you ever get on that kick when you were younger, where like you only wore compression shorts, like you stopped at the boxers? That was a
No.
huge fucking thing when I was in high school, and I did that. I wore like solely compression shorts for like 5 fucking years.
No, I never did that, but it's also maybe that's where like because I wore basically compression shorts, like a compression style underpant for baseball, because they made one that like had the slot for your cup, even though I rarely wore one of those.
Yeah.
But like I wore those all the time for baseball, so like when I wasn't playing baseball, I wanted to wear something else.
That makes sense.
But also like I'm surprised I didn't have that phase because I'm a boxer brief guy, so I like having the leg. I like having some of the like the compression in it. I don't like boxers, so
Boxers are a thing of the early 2000s, really.
Yeah.
I think they kind of phase their way out.
they're definitely out of style for me.
I don't know. I think I agree. Boxer briefs for sure.
For me, one thing that the marketing definitely lived up to the hype for,
Light seltzers, yeah.
Bud Light seltzers, and specifically the sodas.
Yeah.
Because I've had hard sodas before, and I was like, these are fine, but they're very clearly not what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
This literally tastes like I'm drinking Sunkist.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell there's alcohol in it, so it's not that dangerous, but it's still very dangerous.
Sure.
I've even seen people who were like making cocktails with with the soda. Like they make a Jack and Coke with a
That's
Bud
not
Light.
good. Yeah, that's not good.
Respect to y'all, but it's
Yeah.
not for me.
Not a good play, I don't think. Mine, like similarly, Bud Light next, dude. And it's funny because I didn't really see their advertising until after I had started drinking them, but it's kind of like my new Ultra. I love it.
It
I think
is.
It's super light. I think it's a really good beer, and it doesn't have carbs. So, you could just try to justify that you're drinking something healthier, I guess. I don't know.
I still have to try them. Maybe I'll go grab a case for next week's episodes to try them out.
My
Depending
one
on if
complaint
you've
would be
gotten.
that they are a little pricey.
Yeah, I mean,
For a 12-pack, they're like $15, which
I-
is really pricey for like a Bud Light. You know what I mean?
maybe try a different store. I feel like I've seen them for like $10 for the 12 pack.
That was all while I was gone. Carly's got me on the burp count. I'm sorry.
And she also must try. She said she must try Bud Light seltzers, and I agree. They're some of my favorites. Even though like, well, Carly actually might have tried them because I did get a couple cases of them when I visited y'all. I got like they had like the cocktail. Actually, they're right down there. They're like what is it? The limited edition like out
I know
of
what you're
office
talking
series.
about. I don't know that. I thought you drank all those. I don't think we. Had
I drank so much that week, Kyle.
I don't think that we had any of those.
Maybe
could be wrong.
I know you did because I made you try one because I was like, these might be a seltzer you would like, and you were like, it's not that bad because they're like mimic cocktails basically.
I don't remember.
But the hard
Oh,
sodas are really good.
While I was gone, somebody got the Corona version of that, like the cocktail in a can, essentially, or whatever.
How are
And
those?
I had one. It was pretty good. I won't
I've seen
lie.
them.
My biggest complaint is like after I finished one can, I suddenly got like the worst gut rot of my life because it was so sweet.
Yeah.
And that's not a thing that happens easily for me. So I don't know how much sugar was in that freaking can, but it had to have been a ton because I felt like ass afterwards for at least a hot minute.
I've tried the fall pack of Bud Light seltzers, and
Mhm.
I never tried the fall pack. So, shockingly, I've
I was
had
really into those.
I've had the sour ones, which were like the sour ones are ones that you should like use to make a cocktail because like they're too. I don't want when I'm drinking Bud Light seltzers, I'm drinking like 9 of them, and I don't. I that's gut rot. If you're drinking like
Yeah.
9 super sweet, super sour drinks, like that would get me. But like if you mix it into a cocktail and like had something to cut the sweetness, or even maybe just like mix it with club soda just to dilute it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't like those. I have the tie-dye edition, which are really good right there. But even just like the regular Bud Light seltzers are probably my favorite right now of the actual just like seltzers.
Sure. I had something that I was gonna say, and now I totally forgot. You know what I will say is a product that lived up to the hype, and then I've literally never gone back, and it's been like 15 fucking years. iPhones.
Yeah, 100%.
I was an Android person first, mostly just because of cost, you know.
Yeah.
And then I switched over. My first was the 5, but I was still pretty broke, so I got the 5C, which was the cheapest version of the 5, and it was great. And
I've
I've
got a
never gone back.
I broke an iPhone 5C by throwing it on a bed.
Yeah, they were pretty shit phones, to be
I-
completely honest, in terms of structure, like durability.
When Dane was at Illinois State, I went and visited him, and I had a hotel room because I was doing like an official visit there for athletics as well. And so we were drinking, and I just like got home. There was a Steak and Shake across from my hotel, so we like went to get food, and then we're coming back to the hotel, and I just like threw my phone on the bed. Nothing. It's not like it hit anything. Like it was the spare bed that Dane was gonna be sleeping on that night. Like just because we were just chilling, and I picked my phone up. I'm like, what the fuck? My screen was just completely spider webbed. Like it.
You know, it's funny to me, and I mean this in the least rude way possible, but it's so funny for me to picture Dane at college.
It was. I
Like,
mean, he'll tell you. Like he didn't like. It wasn't the best experience of his life either. Like
Yeah.
he went down to, and he'll tell the story, so he won't even mind me telling him like saying this. He went to class for like 2 weeks, and then just texted me a lot to play video games, and then like would leave his dorm to get food because at ISU you can leave the dorms, and each of the I don't know if each of the buildings, but at least his building had a dining hall on the first floor. So he would go downstairs, get food, come back upstairs with the food, and then we'd play like it was during Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, so we'd play like Advanced Warfare GBs all day.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
It's
I
just
mean,
Dane taking college seriously, especially at like a younger age.
oh, he didn't.
No way.
The closest thing to taking it seriously was he played club hockey, I want to say, when he was there. And like he took that kind of seriously. But besides
Yeah, I can
that,
see
like
that, yeah.
it was a good time.
I don't
but
know if
yeah.
I have any more. I'm trying to think like
I've-
right offhand.
yeah,
those are the ones that kind of came to mind instantly.
iPhones are definitely a good one there. For me, it's like some supplements, like some pre-workouts. I have really lived up to the hype that has been around them. Gorilla Mode is the more hardcore lifters who listen to this will know of Gorilla Mode. Most people won't, but they're like a more niche brand. Like the creator is also a YouTuber, More Plates, More Dates, who's like super scientific, does a lot of studies on like steroids and like just what's optimal and what's not when it comes to muscle growth and working out. And he put out a line of products that are really, really good, which is the Gorilla Mode line. And then Rise pre-workout, which is super popular on TikTok. They're pretty prominent there. Not the like most elite pre-workout in terms of like dosages or anything like that, but one of the best tasting that I've ever had.
Yeah.
And then the
Boyd,
last
welcome
one,
back.
thank you,
Nice to see you again.
welcome back, Boyd. The last thing that I must touch on are like Brewmate / Yeti can koozies.
Yeah, I do be loving
These
my roommate,
things
that's for sure.
are amazing. I want to
Yep.
buy them all the time and have to stop myself from doing it because I don't need that
Yeah.
many, but I want that many.
Yeah, Carly got those for us, and that's our go-to now. We love those things.
Oh yeah, well the Brewmates like especially the thin ones because y'all have the thin ones.
Yeah, we do.
Like
but
the
that's because I drink shit like Ultra.
Yeah, the first time I used them was when we visited you guys.
Oh yeah.
I'd never used like I had that one, like my parents got us, it's right here over my shoulder for anybody who's watching. There's a burp counter one for me, Carly, if you can keep track my total this episode too. My parents got us those for Christmas, and I just never really used them. I was always of the mentality of like, I drink it quick enough it don't get warm, but also like
Yeah.
I do enjoy just like sipping on something throughout the night. And like the can that's in there right now is it's a Diet Dr Pepper. Like I will drink anything out of these koozies because I just love using them. I love
They're pretty freaking efficient, man. They keep
They're
it cold.
they keep them cold. They're heavy, so it like you feel it just feels nice to drink out of it. Like
I will say, like, the one thing that I like to be able to do is just like throw my koozie in my pocket.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
the worst
one
part of them.
downside is you can't do that, but that's okay.
I want to get koozies that are big enough that can fit around the can koozie, and so I can put the can koozie in my pocket, but the can koozie's got to stay out.
It needs to be like collapsible somehow,
Yeah.
you know, and just like pop
But
it.
also like these, you can just throw them in like if you're going somewhere, you can just like throw them in your cooler.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I do mostly.
Somebody's gonna
It
steal that
works
shit for sure.
probably.
I'm sure I could think of a million more, but we're kind of running out of time for a first
Yeah.
topic. So instead of trying to spin my wheels and try to think of them, I think we're gonna just move on to the next topic.
Perfect.
So, first of all, I already finished my Angry Orchard, which I can't lie, dude. That was pretty freaking good.
I'm telling
Angry
you.
Orchard's not bad. I'd give it like a 6.4,
Okay.
which is pretty impressive for me. I'm kind of a harsh rater on beers.
I
feel
want-
like that was pretty damn good.
After this episode, I think I want to go through and like just run a quick math problem and average out our scores and see what like
Yeah.
our average is
Yeah, yours
so
has to
far.
be higher than mine. Like,
Oh,
like,
100%.
yeah.
100%, but also that's because I go to places
better
where I
rating.
have a better selection and can grab things. I don't grab things I'm not going to like for the most part. The
Yeah.
things that I
I'll
haven't
grab
liked,
anything, man. I'll try anything once. when it comes to
I'm
booze.
going to have to get to that point at some point. But also like the only thing that I've grabbed that I really didn't like was when we were at Total Wine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That peanut
was
butter
bad.
cup porter
That one,
was
that
terrible.
was really, really freaking bad. I'll never forget.
I gave it a 1.4. You gave it a
I think
1.
I gave it something less than that. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty freaking bad. It was essentially undrinkable.
But yeah, I got the orange soda. I'm on my last drink and can give mine a rating as well. If you like orange soda, you will like this.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest orange soda fan in the world, but this is still a 7-1.
Okay.
I probably like this more than I like non-alcoholic orange soda. The orange
Really?
is a good blend with like the alcohol that you get.
Orange sodas are really sugary too, so I don't know if you're not really into like sugary drinks, you probably don't really
Yeah.
like it that much.
And that's why I like these are zero sugar, like so they're like obviously a little artificially flavored, but the alcohol is made with it's a cane sugar base is what they make the alcohol out of. So the alcohol is naturally sweeter. So then you just have to add some of the like the orange flavor, anything like that. But
Sure.
these are really good.
I think Angry Orchards are just like perfect for that like beginning of summer season.
Oh yeah,
It's so smooth. I don't know, man. It's just apple juice, but it gets you kind of buzzed.
it's why
which is
Natter
pretty
Days
great.
are great.
I never jumped on the Natter Day train specifically. I still can't remember if I've even had one. I think I've maybe had one in my life.
You're gonna there's 2 flavors of Natter Days. We'll do them for an episode. We'll both get a Natter Day and the pineapple one and the strawberry lemonade one, and that'll be our episode.
I think I've maybe had the strawberry lemonade one before, but it would have been one time, and I don't remember specifically.
The strawberry
probably
lemonade
would
was
love
the
pineapple.
original one.
I'm a big pineapple biatch.
I am
love
too.
Pineapple.
I haven't had the pineapple one, so I'm excited about the idea that I came up with for our episode.
Yeah. What are you cracking open?
Another Bud Light hard soda seltzer. This one is the citrus soda, which is supposed to be like a Mountain Dew Sprite blend.
Okay.
It's the color of Mountain Dew, but I think it's somewhere in between.
I am cracking open a Topo Chico, which is probably how you pronounce that, hard seltzer.
It
I'm
is.
doing the tropical mango. And I will say that I've had the pineapple one of the Topo Chicos, and it was not an episode, so I won't rate it officially, but I love pineapple, as I just said, and so I really enjoyed that.
You'll
I'm
have
not
to.
as big of a mango person, so we'll see how I feel about it.
I'm a huge mango person, but I've heard such great things about the Topo Chico seltzers. I think I've had a couple sips of one, and I don't think they were that great. Maybe
pineapple
I
one
was
was
too.
good. I
I
enjoyed
was
it.
pretty drunk when I was drinking them, so maybe that's like influenced my opinion on it.
These
But
are heavily like advertised, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
well, it's also Topo Chico.
out
It's
there.
like the premium seltzer water brand that people who care about the flavor of their seltzer water drink.
I didn't know that. That's news to me. I don't drink seltzer water.
Maybe it's because
It's not
like
alcohol.
so like Topo Chico, it's a more predominant like Hispanic brand, and maybe because I know a lot of people who are Hispanic and are from Hispanic heritage, that they drink it and drink it a lot and talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
Like I know like most people's brains go to like Pellegrino,
I guess.
Perrier, like stuff like that.
I don't know that I've ever gone and purchased like carbonated water in my life. It's not really my thing.
I love it.
I've never really been into carbonation as a whole, so for me to like go out and buy carbonated water would be just blasphemy.
Yeah, probably fair.
Which is why I think I started off, really disliking seltzers, but I've kind of come around a little bit. They're kind of light and they're nice to drink if you don't want to feel super full from like a beer. I can get my head around that.
Definitely. I like it. It's well also I drink it. I shouldn't like generally say I like it because I do. I drink it all the time, but I'm dieting right now, so I'm like just eating less. I'm trying to like lean out a little bit for the summer, And so I've been drinking a lot more of it because it does help you feel full. So I definitely drink more of it like when I'm cutting versus when I'm like bulking or just eating more like a maintenance calorie.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The seltzer life has really grown on me. Like I will say, and I remember too. Like I tried a ranch water one time, and I didn't really realize that ranch water was like a category of drink.
Yeah,
I thought it was just a brand that had done something, and now
Nope,
I realized
it's-
like Topo Chico also has a ranch water that I probably should try because I really did enjoy the ranch water. But
ranch water is just a cocktail.
yeah,
But
didn't know.
most people make it with Topo Chico.
well, it's like a seltzer. So I mean,
Yeah.
I get that it's like not, but it is. I don't freaking know, man.
It's
it just tastes
Topo
like seltzer.
Chico, or it's sparkling water. I want to say tequila and lime juice. Like it's
I don't feel like the canned ones actually put liquor in them though, do they?
the
Like
brand ranch
Topo
water
Chico
does.
does ranch water, and you think so? They have tequila in those
I
cans?
think
I need
so.
you to verify that. Fact check yourself because I don't know if I believe that.
I am Topo Chico ranch water.
Do it have?
My guess
tequila?
would be. Adds ranch water into its newest hard seltzer flavor. Yeah, Topo Chico ranch water hard seltzer.
Yeah, I know, but does it have tequila in it? That's the question. Not does it exist? I know it exists.
No, so theirs won't be getting its alcoholic kick from tequila. Most hard seltzer is fermented like beer. But they hope to mimic the lime and refreshing crisp taste. So no, theirs is not made with tequila. Traditionally, ranch water, the drink, is made with tequila,
Okay.
which is why I like it. I love tequila.
Alright.
That's like my newfound thing in life over the past like year and a half is how much I love tequila.
I
know I'm
love
cutting into your
tequila.
topic time, but
It's fine. I love tequila too, but it doesn't love me in that it makes me grumpy apparently, and I am not the best version of myself on tequila. So I try to not do that.
you know it's a myth, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it just happens to be that somehow tequila brings out the worst in me every time. So that being said, I can usually take like a margarita or two and be fine. But if I start to like ripping shots of tequila, like I'm doomed. I'm in.
All right, make Kyle take a bunch of shots of tequila next time we're out there. We want to see grumpy Kyle.
It's a bad idea
We want to see the grumpy.
because I really do like tequila. I like the taste of tequila.
I
It's
love
good.
tequila.
But anyway, all right, let's move on. We've talked enough about this. All right, so I'm going to do a quick topic because we did take some time there, and I'm going to wrap this one in because I wanted to talk about it last week or 2 weeks ago, and then I just ended up switching over to the topic that we did, which was, weird terminology across the states. But my original intent of that one is what I want to talk about now. And that's because I just spent a bunch of time in the South. And let me frickin' tell you, the South, for all of the good things that can be in the South is a weird fucking place, man.
Yeah.
And so I want to talk about the Bible Belt. If you don't know what that is, it's a series of southern states, right? And I want to talk about some like holdover laws that are down there or rules that are kind of abided by that I think are fucking nuts and that I do not understand. And the main one is you can't buy booze most places on Sundays still in the Bible Belt.
That's ABC. It's not really Bible Belt as much as it's like
Crazy.
any ABC state, because Jess and I found that out. We went to Charlotte, North Carolina. North Carolina is an ABC state, and we got in on Sunday, and we were like, it was just us on vacation. Like our plan for most of the vacation was to eat and drink. And so we're like trying to find a liquor store that's open, and
Yeah.
there's not. So we had to go to a random 7-Eleven and she got a bottle of shitty like Behringer wine, and I got a case of flat Truly seltzers. Like that was just like what we were stuck with for the night, and especially
And a lot
because
of it
the
is,
bars
like,
were
actually
closed.
law. Like a lot of these places are not
Yeah.
physically allowed to sell these products, right? It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I
I
don't
went
get
to
it.
go eat with my aunt and some family, and we went to a casino because it was just kind of like a centralized point, and they had like a big restaurant in there. And so I went down, and we sit at the table, and there were some folks there that I hadn't met. You know, it's a little easier to talk to people you haven't met when you've had a drink or two, right? So I'm like, I'll have a drink, why not, right? And the waitress comes over, and I was like, hey, can I get a drink menu? And she goes, it's Sunday. And I was like, so fucking what?
Yeah, like you don't drink on
I
if
don't
you watch
understand.
football.
What's the problem here? You know. So I don't know. Have you experienced anything else like that in the South? It's kind of like my question. I say the Bible Belt because that's where I've experienced it the most. But if there's other places, go ahead and throw them out there. I tried to find like a link while I was introducing the topic of some other things that are just kind of random rules down there, and I'm not really having a good time trying to figure it out.
Let's kind of on the same track, but not specifically in the South. I think it's weird that car dealerships are required to be closed on Sundays. Like that's weird
what
to
I
me.
didn't know. Yeah, that's
I
interesting.
went to Iowa to buy a car because we had a family friend who owned a car dealership, like sort of a car dealership.
Yeah.
And we drove out there on Saturday, and my dad was like, "We have to go straight to the dealership. We have to get it." Even though we were staying in Iowa for the weekend, he's like, "We have to go there on Saturday." It's like, why? He's like, car dealerships have to be closed on Sundays. It's a law. Like it's a federal law. I don't know if that's true. Somebody should probably fact check me on that one.
Yeah,
But like
I don't think so.
I don't think I've seen anywhere that a car dealership is open on Sundays, and I think
feel
that's
like
weird.
I don't know. You might be right. I don't know if they were open when I lived there, but
Car dealerships be open on Sunday? That's the first link on Google. Once you start to type can car dealerships, the first result is be open on Sunday.
dude, I just pulled up like weird laws of the South, just thinking I might find some like normal shit that's just weird to some people, But this is just fucking ridiculous. Like these are kind of like out to lunch. Like in Alabama, you can't wrestle a bear. and-
Oh yeah, there's like in Illinois you can't fish from the neck of a giraffe. Like there's such weird laws. Oh, that's one. The city of Joliet, Illinois, it is actually illegal to pronounce it Juliet.
What?
If you are in city limits and pronounce it, because most people pronounce it Juliet because Romeoville is right next door and Joliet. So Romeo and Juliet. So a lot of people mispronounce it. It is actually illegal in city limits to mispronounce the name of the city.
Wow, that is a weird one.
Yes.
Here's a good one. Apparently in South Carolina, you literally cannot work on Sunday.
That's sick, I guess.
I don't know if that you might want to fact check that one too, because that might be just out to lunch as well. But it says like there's multiple businesses like across the country that don't work on Sundays, but in South Carolina you can't work at all.
Yeah. Oh. Let's see. I've in Washington State, it's illegal to kill Bigfoot. In Virginia, you can't hunt on Sundays but you can kill raccoons on Sundays.
Huh.
Make that one make sense.
Hey, here's another one that just like is like what you said. There's an illegal way to say Arkansas.
Arkansas. Right?
I don't know. It says it's illegal to mispronounce Arkansas. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. It just says you can't mispronounce it. It doesn't say like what the pronunciation is. That's bad.
You can't put up a clothesline in Vermont. It's illegal.
I don't know. I wasn't sure if you'd experienced anything like this, but I think that just blew my freaking mind when I was down there and I saw that was still a thing. And I
This
don't know
one-
why. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but it really threw me the fuck off.
This one's weird. You can get married by proxy in Texas. You don't have to physically be present at your wedding.
Well, that's good.
So in this one, it says like for legitimate reasons, like military service. So like if you were deployed,
Yeah.
You could get married while on deployment by having
can
somebody there in your place
kinda
as
see that
long
again.
as you have the right documentation. You can't hold public office if you've been in a duel in Tennessee.
I guess that makes sense.
Let's see. In Rhode Island, if you bite off somebody's limb, you get 20 years in prison.
Okay.
You can't sell or buy infant children in Pennsylvania.
Okay, maybe this is going to be a good article. We'll see.
Some of these have like repealed laws too. Like you used to not be able to seduce unmarried women with the promise of marriage or deception until 2016.
I saw that one, yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't know. This topic was bound to die pretty quickly. I just had no idea. I wanted to say out loud that the South blew my freaking mind, and I didn't understand how you couldn't freaking drink there.
South's weird, man. It's a weird place.
They also have there's certain rules down in the South too related to booze where like only certain places can or like, and I think this might be outside the South too, then I'm just ignorant of the fact, but there's places where like the state will set the price that alcohol can be sold at in stores.
That's so any ABC state, the state does all of the purchasing of alcohol for any liquor store, grocery store, anywhere that sells alcohol in the state, and they're the ones who actually set the prices. And it's a tax thing. Like that's really the only argument for it, but it's any ABC state.
That is pretty crazy. I should look up the list of those and see what are the ABC states. Then we could probably look at ABC state rules too and figure out alcoholic beverage control state. That's not real?
What's not real?
It says Iowa is one of them. All spirits sold to privately owned realtors by the Alcoholic Beverages Division. I don't think that's real.
Maybe that's why. Like I think that's why. Uncle Kyle fact checked me. Only 20 states ban car sales on Sundays. So nearly half actually exactly 2/5 of the U.S. Can't talk.
It's very interesting. In
But-
Utah, all beverages over 4% are sold in state-run stores, so you can only have it 4%.
Well, that makes sense. It's a predominantly, I shouldn't say predominantly Mormon state, but the Mormon religion is very heavy there, and they're very against alcohol.
Man,
But yeah, that makes
weird, dude.
that makes sense for me though in Iowa, because like a lot of things are weirdly more expensive in Iowa, but a lot of things are also weirdly cheaper. Like Busch Light is way more expensive in Iowa than it is in Illinois.
I think most alcohol is cheaper in Illinois because I know some family that they would go that lived closer to the border, and they would just always go to the Illinois side to buy their alcohol because it was cheaper.
When we had our lake house, we had a family friend of ours who would mow, like when we weren't there, they would take care of all the yard work and landscaping, and we'd pay them in cases of Busch Light. And we'd buy them in Illinois instead of buying them in Iowa because it was like $7 cheaper.
Makes sense. We used to, when I lived in Iowa still, we'd go drink in Dubuque, and then we'd cross the border into Illinois because the bars were open an hour later. So we'd go drink in Illinois for an hour and then fucking fight our way back home.
It was the opposite for my dad. My dad grew up in the Quad Cities. They would go into Iowa to drink because the drinking age in Iowa was 18, whereas it was 21 in Illinois.
Yeah.
So
ways back.
my dad's got a fun story about taking the SAT drunk or the ACT drunk, like still drunk from the night before. Friend drove him there. They slept in the parking lot and like went in and took the test, and he got like a 27.
I think I might have been a little hungover on my ACT too, if I'm not lying.
I wasn't, but I had the stomach flu. So I was
Ooh.
in the process of throwing up. They literally put me in like a janitor's closet to take the test. And so I'm like throwing up every third question. It was great.
That sounds fun. All right. Well, that's all I really got. That's all I had to say. I just needed everybody to know that the South has weird drinking laws. I've never had an opportunity to not drink, and that was my first. So
that is so weird. It's still so weird to me that like states control that kind of thing. Like
it is pretty strange. Like especially in like a free market economy where we preach this, do whatever you kind of want with the market, sell whatever you want, and then the government controls alcohol. I don't know, dude. It's weird. It's weird. All right, maybe topic number 2. We got 20 minutes left. Let's go.
All right, I'll try and make this one a quick one, so maybe you can get in a little bit of a longer topic.
I've got a
as
good one for
part
the
of
end,
this is
yeah.
too. So I'll make this nice and quick. How many McDonald's chicken nuggets do you think you could eat in one sitting?
Ooh, that's a good question. 25.
That's it?
I think so.
I've eaten 40.
Because I can do a 20-piece relatively easily. But I think if I tried to go beyond the 20-piece, can you hear that? My
Yeah,
Alexa just starts.
I heard that.
It's listening to us. I think I could do 25. I think 30 I would be bursting at the seams because I've done 20 pretty easily, no problem. And then if I put 5 more in, I feel like I'd be starting to hurt. And if I went to 30, I would fucking die. So I think 25 is probably the most. Unless you're saying like eat till I puke, then I could probably do like 30.
Peak athletic Jake, when I was playing like 3 baseball games in a day.
Athleticism is getting involved in this conversation. And I know I get the valid point of this, but it's like fucking hilarious to me that you're talking about being athletic and eating chicken nuggets.
Uncle Kyle says 60. That's probably about where I am. I think I could make it to 80.
It's kind of making me crave chicken nuggets.
Right? Peak athletic Jake could like knock out 2 Chipotle burritos at a time, 2 Subway footlongs. Like I feel like the chicken nuggets are less.
I've never been in a position in my life where I've been able to eat that much food that you just described.
Bro, that was like you go to a baseball tournament, right? You eat breakfast. You're playing 3 games in 100+ degree heat because we're traveling down south to play games, and we're playing on turf fields, so it's even hotter because the air, like the ground, isn't absorbing it; it's just blowing the heat back off of you. The umpire's shoes at second base are melting to the ground if he stands in the position too long. Like, you just get hungry, and like you're trying to rehydrate, and you're also like trying to snack when you can, but then like the game's done, and you're taking fucking 12 starving kids to eat, and all of us are eating 2 burritos like it's nothing, and then we're still kind of hungry.
Never been there.
Lucky fucking you.
Can't relate.
But I think I could push 80. Like maybe this is an episode that we have to do
My
now.
God, I think you have to. I
Like,
think I might have to go get chicken nuggets tonight, even though I ate right before we did the podcast.
yeah,
I think I'm
like I said, I'm cutting right now, but I saved a few calories for after the episode, so I might have to go get some.
80 nuggets, dude.
I think I can do it. I don't think it's that much food.
80 chicken nuggets.
Hold on, let me do some quick math. How
I want
much
to know how many fucking calories.
does a McDonald's chicken nugget weigh?
Way.
It weighs 16.5 grams. So, how many grams in a pound? So there's 453 grams in a pound. Round that up to 454. Divide it by 16.
How
454.
many calories is 80 nuggets?
I don't want to know because I'm on a
Just
diet.
guess.
So eating a pound of McNuggets real quick is about 30 nuggets equals a pound. I could easily eat like 2 pounds of meat in a sitting, so I'm more confident in my answer after looking that up. But how many calories?
Dude, I can barely eat an 8-ounce steak.
That's like a warm up.
Sometimes I can do a 10-ounce steak.
I had 12 ounces of chicken for lunch, and I was hungry in an hour.
Oh my god. I just don't eat that much, I guess. Maybe that's why I'm not fucking obese, because I think if I ate like you, I would be 500 pounds right now.
Yeah, but I'm also working out 5 days a
Yeah,
week, and
that's
I'm
my
doing
problem.
30
I don't
minutes
do
of
that.
cardio 3 days a week. Like I don't eat that much when I'm not working out, but when
I
I'm
would
working
go
out, I eat a
for sure.
lot. How many calories?
It's 4,000 calories.
I was gonna say about. I was gonna say
4,000.
like 3,500.
It was actually like 3,900, I think, but 4,000 around.
That's fair.
4,000 calories in
I'm
80
eating.
nuggets.
I'm eating 2,200 calories a day to lose weight right now. My maintenance is about 2,700, so
Yeah.
I'm in like a 500 calorie deficit. So like 2 days worth of food for me right now in one sitting. I could do it.
I give praise to Carly for this because she is like meticulous about calorie counting when she's like trying to be careful and eat healthy and all these things, right? I could never do it. I've never counted a calorie in my life.
Lucky fucking.
I've looked at a piece of food and gone, that's kind of high calorie, and then I eat it anyway. Like I've never counted calories in my life, and that's probably part of the reason like that I'm getting fatter as I get older, because my metabolism is slowing down.
But you're not even like the definition of you getting fat. Like you still have abs.
Oh, not really anymore.
I'm gonna get down to my leanest I've ever been during this cut, Kyle,
Yeah.
and I am still not gonna have abs.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I don't know, dude. I guess I'm pretty fortunate with my metabolism and the way that I
You
was
are.
born.
You
But
probably eat like to gain the weight that you gain, you probably and not even realizing it, like the little bit of weight you gain, you probably eat like 3,800 calories a day.
I eat like shit. I eat a lot. Yeah,
Like
I crush pizza, dude. Pizza's my weakness. I could fuck with some
pizzas,
pizza.
can you eat like if I were to put a whole Little Caesars pizza in front of you right now, but assume it's your favorite pizza, like
Yeah.
whatever your favorite pizza is, because you eat one large pizza right
Are you
now.
talking about crust as well?
Yeah.
Maybe. Without crust, 100%. If I was throwing the crust in, I don't know. I might be a little.
Even if you took the crust out, that alone is like 1,800 calories.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, dude, pizza's my fucking weakness.
I know it is.
If
I
I
know.
could cut pizza out, I could definitely lose weight for sure. I
That's
can't,
like,
though.
I mean, that's
Pizza's-
all I cut out. I just like, I shouldn't even say that. I used to just cut out carbs. I don't even
I
do
don't know
that
how
anymore.
people do keto, dude. Keto. Bless you if you can do that shit. I can't. No fucking way.
I did it. It's not sustainable. If you want to lose a bunch of weight really quickly, do it. Just learn how to count calories and eat a balanced diet. That's the end of my spiel. Kyle, what's your last topic for the night?
That's a great question, Jake. I would like to take it back. Okay.
All right.
Crack the knuckles. Quack. All right, so here we go. I was down in the South. I have some family down there. I met up with them. My cousin graduating from high school this year. Another one of my cousins just graduated from high school. I had some conversations with them, and I had my pieces of advice based on my experience, right? And this is what I want to know. Go back, senior year of high school, rewind in your brain. And I want to know how prepared you felt to make the decisions that you were being asked to make for your career and really to set yourself up for success for the rest of your life.
Zero.
And I would like you to also expand on that and talk about kind of what your thought process was then and how you would change it.
Yeah, I was 0% prepared for any decision I made when I was that age. I was thinking with hormones and a dream is kind of the best way I can describe it. Like it's just you when your hormones are crazy like that when you're young, like you just have confidence that you can do anything, you can do whatever you want, or you have like the opposite attitude of like I can't do anything, I can't do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Like when I think back, like I love how my life has turned out. Like I'm very very happy with everything that's happened, and everything that happened the way it happened is the way I met my wife. It's the way I have the jobs I've had. But like I missed out on so much because of the choices that I made. Like
Yeah.
I had scholarships to play Division 1 baseball that I didn't take advantage of because I wanted to bet on myself or I got hurt, like whatever you want to call the final reason for being there. I jumped into a major that if I were to do it today, I could have succeeded in, which was like a medical focus, like a pre-med biology major. I could do that right now. I could walk into that major and be perfectly fine. I was not ready for that choice when I was that young. And I know I would never make it as a doctor. Like even if I got the degree, like just the lifestyle's not for me.
Yeah.
The pay's great, but the medical debt and
Medical shit grosses me the fuck out. I could never do it. I don't have the stomach for it.
like that was my dream. Is like I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a surgeon. But like 18-year-old me thought I could go to class once a week when the class met 3 times a week and succeed. Like
Yeah.
there like if I would go back in time, I would humble myself.
Okay.
Because I thought much more highly of my skills and of who I was
Yeah.
than actually was the case. Like I had an okay GPA in high school. I had very good standardized test scores, and I thought I could just allow that to let me coast through college.
Yeah.
And that was not the case. Like I needed to be humbled, and that's ultimately what happened. Like I didn't end up getting an associate's degree after 2.5 years at a community college. It took me 5 years to get a bachelor's degree. Like I academically like screwed myself so hard. Because I screwed myself so hard academically, I have a bunch of student loan debt that I now have to deal with
Yeah.
that I otherwise would not have if I would have just been smarter in my choices.
Yeah.
Like I needed to be humbled in a way that only happened because I fucked up, but should have happened before I fucked up.
Sure. I think so. If I think back, right, and I roll back to my senior year of high school, and I think similarly to what you're saying, right, I feel like I was in this mindset that I was invulnerable to making an incorrect decision, maybe, or that it just didn't, maybe that it just, I was so arrogant that I just thought that the decision didn't even matter at all. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you exactly what my mindset was at the time, but I know that I didn't do a lot of research or seeking out advice or help to make that decision for myself and I was younger for my grade. So I was 17 years old when I graduated high school. And so I'm 17 years old thinking like everything is just like high school, right? You know, like I'm just going to go down to the next layer
Yeah.
of formal education and it doesn't really matter what I do. I feel like it's kind of what my mindset was. And so for me, I kind of had like a thought of what I may want to do in life, but to
Yeah.
be completely honest, I didn't have a clue and I still
Yeah.
don't really have a clue. And so, I think it's funny because it's been a decade since then for me and a little more than that actually. And I look back and I'm like, I still don't know that I'm prepared to make those types of decisions at
Yeah.
at the place that I am in life. And I can't imagine even going back now with the knowledge that I have and making that decision when I was younger. I do know that I would do things differently in terms of
Yeah.
at least the focus area of my education, because I have a better understanding of what interests me and what I like to
Right.
do and what I would be willing to do for work now. And that comes with experience in terms of the workforce and understanding what might make you happy in a work environment as well. Um, but I think I just didn't care,
Yeah.
and
That I'm in the
I
same boat. I like, and what you're talking about too, like being young and graduating and just thinking like you'll go on to the next step of education and then like something else will happen after that and that's the path you're gonna go down. Like I was in the exact same boat.
yeah. And it's funny too, because and I'll kind of tell a story that helps to explain where my mindset was, I guess. But I wouldn't change anything either, and I agree with you that everything that I've done has led me to where I am, and I am very, very happy with where I am. That being said, I think uh, if I could give people advice to set them up for the most, career happiness, because I have a lot of life happiness, right? I don't
Mm.
necessarily have like the most career happiness,
Right.
even though my career is great and like it's done good things for me. It's not what I envisioned myself doing necessarily. And sometimes I did, and sometimes I didn't. What I do now, I thought about it multiple times throughout my life, but it's not exactly like that's 100% what I'm going to do, right? That's not what
Right.
my thought process was when I was. And the thing that I would go back and take a look at again, and I've kind of talked to a lot of people about this, is I went to college in my hometown. And fiscally, it was the correct decision. I didn't have college debt really. I had a very little amount because I took some out my senior year just to not have to work full time and go to school for my senior year. But I look back at that point in my life and I wish that I would have taken the opportunity just to see what my options were outside of Iowa.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even look outside of like a fucking 50-mile radius, dude. I applied to the school in my hometown and I applied to the school in the neighboring town, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then I stopped there. And like my scores were decent enough on standardized testing that I probably could have gotten some scholarships some places, or I could have taken the ACTs a little more seriously and actually prepared a little harder and gotten some decent scholarships, I think, academically, if I really would have applied myself there. And so I think the biggest thing, and I don't think most people struggle with taking the ACT seriously. I think I'm kind of an oddball in that I thought I was just like, it came naturally to me and I wasn't going to have any
I
chance of failing that, or doing poorly on that test.
I you say that, but also you and I are in the exact same boat. So maybe that's like skewing my view of it too. Is like
Yeah.
I didn't take an ACT prep course. I didn't have the
No, me
books.
neither.
I showed
I
up
didn't
to
take
take the
practice
test.
tests. Yeah.
We had to take like a PSAT, like, so we had to do it.
I guess
like,
maybe I did one.
So,
Formalized
like,
through school, yeah.
I did that. I took it one time. I got a 27. I took it again. Actually tried, got a 33. I took the SAT, got a 1420, which is a really good score. Like, so I just thought I was smart enough to just whatever. Like, I think, and I don't. I think you're in one of the two camps, right? You're in the camp that was our mindset, where it's just like it's a test. I'll either do good or I won't. And if I do
Yeah.
good, I'm destined for greatness. If I don't, oh well. I'll go to trade school or go to
And
a
I wasn't
community
even there. I
college.
think I was just truly arrogant enough to believe that I didn't need to prepare.
Yeah, I didn't need to prepare.
Like organized
So I told
school,
myself.
at least at the high school and lower level, came relatively easy to me. I didn't have to try like extremely hard to do decent in school. And I remember, and I'll never forget this conversation for the rest of my life. And I laugh looking back at it because the guy was wrong, but he was kind of right. But I had a study hall in my junior or senior year of high school. I don't remember when it was. I had it in my upper level high school years. I had a study hall, and I didn't feel like I needed to study in study hall because I was doing fine in school and I never studied in study hall. So I would just sit there and talk to people. Well, eventually I got in trouble for it, right? And I get sent to the principal's office. Well, it happened to be
Right.
like the vice principal or whatever that ended up taking the meeting with me or whatever. But he was like, "Do you truly think that you can just go to college and not study?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I do. I really do." And to be fair, I really didn't study hard in college either, and I did
I
okay.
didn't.
I made it out of college fine. And so
I
I think
made
a
it
lot
out
of
of
it was arrogance.
college.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think a lot of it is just this disbelief that A, that maybe it even matters at all, but B, that you could possibly fail at those types of things if you've
Yeah.
been in a situation where you put a little effort and it just happens to work out for you. Um, which and I don't mean to like sound arrogant in saying that school came easy to me. I feel like I got lucky enough that like I didn't have to try that hard in school.
Right.
Um, to do decent enough to make it through, and so that's the biggest thing. I think I would kind of slap myself in the face, take it a little more seriously, and I would advise people, especially as you're getting closer to those latter. And your GPA might not be the make or break. Sometimes it is when it comes to scholarships, but it might not be. But when it comes
Yeah.
to like those entrance testing and everything like that, if you can do well on those tests, it opens doors. Even if your GPA is not great, if you do well on those tests, it can open some doors for you. And I think that's the biggest thing is you need to open your mind to a lot more of those doors and see what is really available for me as options, so you can make an informed decision or try to do that. And then another piece of advice I think I would put out there for people is just like seek some help in that decision.
Yep.
As much as nobody really wants to hear from their parents or like guidance counselors or whoever the hell it is, you got to be willing to admit that you don't know it all, and like take that advice, because I really wish I would have done that.
My parents gave me the best advice that I've ever gotten in my entire life, and I thought I knew more than them. And as I've gotten older, and like 16 through probably even like 20-year-old me didn't give a shit what they had to say. Like,
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing. No, I fucking didn't. I was a dumbass. I'm still a dumbass.
Yeah, same.
At 27, I'm still going, almost
Yeah.
27, I'm going to my parents for advice on things still. I'm like, do you think I should take this job? You think I should invest in this stock? You think I should set up my 401k this way or that? Like,
Yeah.
I still don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Like,
I don't do that, but I seek other people's advice still,
But yeah,
my
like,
still
it's-
parents, but yeah,
but
I do a better job now of looking at for other opinions than I do.
yeah, like, yeah, I think that's the other thing is like get other viewpoints, because like as much as I can say like I knew what I was doing, I made the right choice for me at the time, like I know I didn't do it. Like I picked a thing that I thought I wanted to do. I picked shittier colleges because I thought what the name on the degree doesn't matter. Guess what? It does. If you have
Yes, yeah. A little
if
bit,
you
yeah.
if you have an MBA from one of the top 10 MBA schools versus you have an MBA from the 4+1 program you did at X small outside of the top 250 college in the country, people who have that MBA from and that degree from that top school are making double to triple the money that you're making from shit fuck school over here.
The one thing that I will caveat that with is it truly does depend on what you want to do.
Yes,
Because at some
100%.
places it does not. You just need to have the degree and it gets you in the door, and that's all that matters.
100%.
But yeah, it does sometimes. It depends. Like if you're going to go work in like Wall Street or something like that, I'm sure it affects.
Yeah,
you.
if you're doing investment banking, consulting, like those top like career fields, that shit matters.
STEM, it probably matters a lot too. If I had to
Yeah,
guess. I'm not in
yes.
the STEM field, but
Yeah, STEM definitely has some level of importance. Ultimately, a lot of STEM is like just what you can prove. But just like if you want to be a teacher, it doesn't matter. Get an education degree. If you want to be a psychologist, get a psychology degree. Like there's a lot of fields where it really like the concept is so similar no matter where you go that it doesn't matter. But like you're talking about, like you picked the town that you lived in and the town over.
yep.
But like if you were going into a business field, that's not always the best call.
I think it's never the best call.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a matter of fact. I think and the reason I think that isn't necessarily like quality of education. Like if you grew up right next to Harvard, like maybe you should go to Harvard. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But my point is that you need to get out there and get you need to see a little bit more of the world to make an informed decision. Because I wouldn't say that I'd been to that point in my life until maybe the last 3 to 5 years, where I've really seen more like culturally than I'd ever did when I was younger. I was stuck in fucking nowhere land, Iowa, and that really closes off a lot of your mindset in terms of decision making. And fucking A, man, you gotta just get some perspective in life before you make big decisions like that. And I think maybe I don't know if this is necessarily the right advice, but I think if you're gonna think that you're gonna go into some sort of a career field too in high school before you try to go to a college and commit to that major or whatever it is, you should go do some job shadowing or
Yep.
something, right? Like get out there and see what that everyday life is like, because you might find out that it's kind of a grind that you're not prepared for, or maybe
Yeah.
it's just boring as shit, or whatever it is. Try to like see what you think that you want to do before you try to commit to 4 years of it.
I
can
thought
tell. You go ahead.
I thought I was going into med school. I thought
Yeah.
that was my future. Was not. I thought I was going to go into sales, so I did a marketing degree. Never going to work a sales job a day in my life. Like
Yeah.
it's like there's so many like you think so many things look good on paper until you experience it. Like exactly like you're saying, like once you realize what something is, like there's a reason that every career offers internships, offers
Yeah, and you don't even have to do
a
an
shadowing
Yeah,
opportunity.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
there's so many things that you don't realize. Like you think sales is great, right? I get to work with people, I get to make a lot of money. No, it's 70% being told fuck off,
That sounds
20%
like a nightmare to me. honestly.
20% grinding to make a few dollars, and then like 10% of your transactions go great. Like
Yeah.
it's such a small reward for what it ultimately is, and every career is like that. So do, like Kyle's saying here, like do the shadowing. Take an opportunity. If your dad works in an industry, fucking go to work with him once or twice.
Yeah.
You'll realize really quick whether you like the industry or not.
I'll tell one final story because we're out of time, and I'll make it quick. But I go to college, and I commit to a criminology major. My dad was a cop growing up. I thought my life was going to end in some sort of a criminal justice field, right? Like somewhere in there, right? That's
Yep.
what I thought. In about my sophomore year, I kind of lowered it down to like where I thought I was going to maybe go work for the FBI, right? That was kind of my goal at the time. I make it all the way to my senior year of college, second semester, before I even looked at what those requirements are to get into that job. And I went to a career fair in the second semester of my senior year of college, and I found out that I was not going to meet those requirements with just the degree that I was getting.
Yep.
And I was like, well, that throws a fucking wrench in my plan because I'm not changing now. And so I had to really rethink my planning in my senior year of college. And so, some people are a little bit more meticulous than I am, obviously, in their planning. I've never been a great planner. Carly's way better at that than I am, and I rely on her for pretty much all the planning. But especially if you're a person like me, where you kind of just go with the flow, try to stop yourself from doing that when it comes to these types of decisions. And I would say, look at, what do I think I want to do? Go take a look at it firsthand. And if you still think you want to do that, then figure out what the fucking requirements are. And if what you're doing is going to get you into that field.
Yeah.
And those are kind of my recommendations, is just get some freaking perspective,
Yep.
take some opportunities. Don't be afraid to seek out the help and the advice. Don't think you're fucking invulnerable to making a bad decision, because you're definitely going to make a bad decision if you think that. So, I don't know.
If I could just quickly surmise it in one piece of advice, it's just admit that you don't know everything. That's okay.
That's true too.
Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, they don't know everything, and they're doing great. Like, it's okay to not be perfect and to make mistakes, but just admit that you're going to make those mistakes and seek out resources to help you minimize the impact of those mistakes.
Yeah. Be informed. That's all I got. What's your ranking for your final drink?
I am going to give it a 7.4. I'm a sucker for anything citrusy, and it pulls off the flavor very, very well. Mountain Dew, Bud Light soda. It's not Mountain Dew at all, but it tastes like Mountain Dew. 7.4.
What did
How
I
about
just
you?
give Angry Orchard? What did I give it?
6.4.
I'm going to give this a 6.6.
Ooh, a little bit better.
Topo Chico's good.
We're finding
not
some
gonna lie.
seltzers you like, Kyle.
We are. I told you, I'm getting there. I'm on the train a little bit now. It's not really my style still. I would rather have a beer than a seltzer any day of the week. And maybe even a mixed drink before a seltzer. But I do think seltzers are better than I originally gave them credit for. And I will say the pineapple one's definitely better than the mango. So if I had to officially rate that one, it would definitely be a little higher. But I will have to do that on a different episode when I have one in front of me, so that I can do it officially for the podcast.
Might have to do a seltzer ranking episode like we did with the light beer.
Oh my god, I don't know if I'm prepared for that.
I am.
All right, that's all I got. Thank everybody for joining us again on another episode of Two Average Husbands. We're here to have a good time and to drink and hang out with each other and with all the rest of you guys. You can find Jake on Twitter at Perry_FF. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see that both of our handles are there for you too. I'm on at Kyle and Her Son. on Twitter as well. You can find the Two Average Husbands pages all over the freaking place. We're on Instagram and Twitter at number 2 AVG Husbands. We're on Facebook at spelled out Two Average Husbands. We're also on Discord. We're doing a bad job of that still. We'll get back to it. We are on Discord, and we are also on something else I'm forgetting. But you can find us on YouTube as well at fully spelled out Two Average Husbands. You can find our link tree on any of those places, and we also have it in our bios personally too. So you can find us pretty much everywhere. Follow us, like us, interact with us. We love the comments in the chat. It helps us to keep the conversation going, and we like to talk to you guys too. That's all I've got. Thanks for joining us. I'll give it to Jake.
Make sure, as always, if you watched on YouTube, make sure you give us a listen on Spotify, iTunes, and now on Google Podcasts as well. So make sure you give us a like, follow there. Give us the listens. We love seeing the numbers increase as they are slowly but surely increasing. We've got a couple other projects we're slowly working on here and there that'll be out mostly on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Still offering to give away a t-shirt at 100 subscribers.
We sure are.
We're slowly getting there. We broke 50, I think.
Hey, halfway there.
So we're getting there, but just keep subscribing. Make sure you stay in touch with us on the content. Give us ideas if you want to see certain things in episodes. We are always open to more ideas. We have a few themed episodes on the horizon, as we kind of alluded to earlier today, with some of the talk about like work from home and stuff like that. So make sure you give us ideas. We love to see all of that. And as always, everybody, make sure you tell somebody you love them.